Good afternoon. It is Friday, and I just wanted to check in and give you all a quick recap of how our week went. Since we're kind of new to YouTube, I'm new to you guys, you all are new to us, I just thought I would throw in and let you know how our typical week goes. Mondays we have co-op. For those of you that are not familiar with how a co-op works, it's where it's kind of a collaboration of some local homeschool families where we get together and typically children are divided up based on ages and interest, and they go to we have 4 classes throughout the day, so they all disperse and go to their classes, and the moms all pitch in and either are teachers or assistants, and that's how our day is spent. It's typically a wild morning for us. I'm not a morning person. I do not like to get up and get going and out the door, usually before lunchtime, but we manage. The kids love it. We've been doing it now for we've done a co-op at least for one semester at least every year. Sometimes we take the spring co-op off. It just depends on how the school year has gone and if we've had any issues, things that have come up in the fall that has delayed or gotten us behind with our schoolwork. So on Tuesdays we're typically at home. So this Tuesday, however, our oldest son Aaron, he had been suffering from a pretty bad migraine that left his whole right arm and hand completely numb. His hearing was muffled. His headache was just terrible. So we ended up taking him to the doctor. Thankfully, though, we were able to get most of our schoolwork done that day. He got a sick day. It's probably one out of only 5 sick days he's ever had in his homeschooling journey. Mama takes days off, which means if Mama's off, everybody's off, but typically it's very rare that we have one student that just kind of gets to lay around and do nothing. But he did, and that evening we actually ended up in the ER, and they gave him a migraine concoction, which was Campazine, Tridol, Benadryl, and a bag of fluids. So that helped him quite a bit. However, headache seems to be coming back this week, so or today. We'll go see a neurologist soon to figure out what's causing that. So Wednesdays are therapy days for us. In the morning we hop in right on school immediately, and head out the door about 10:15 for my daughter has occupational therapy at 11, so we do that, and then we typically pack a lunch that day. Sometimes on our Facebook page you'll see I'll snap a picture of our car schooling crate. We just kind of load that up, and kiddos grab a few books and we take it in and work while she's in therapy. Then we pack a lunch, and usually we'll eat lunch at a park or something, and then our twins have physical therapy in the afternoon. So we're normally at that office for about at least 2 hours, and then we head to McAllister's on Wednesday nights for dinner, and then off to church. And then yesterday was our first day that we at home, where we didn't have anywhere to go. That was a huge blessing. So we were delayed in school because I had a couple of doctor's appointments I needed to call and check it on. So we were just kind of mellow and relaxed. We do have a schedule that we follow, but it's more of like an order of the way things should go, not necessarily like we're absolutely have to be doing math at 10 o'clock. So we just had a really relaxed day. And then today, it is Friday. Yay, we survived the week. Everyone has done their school and they've done their test. We typically do grammar tests, spelling tests, things like that, whatever they need on Fridays. And if they pass their tests, not necessarily if they get an A, but if they pass, they get something out of the treasure box. And then we're free the rest of the afternoon. Typically, it's Fridays that usually kicks off their screen time for the weekends. But today, we're going to go to Half Price Bookstore. Is having a huge sale at our local Fair and Expo Center, and everything there is supposed to be under $2. So I don't know that I need any more books, but we're going to go check that out and see how it goes. And then I have a hair appointment this afternoon. Twins have soccer tonight. And then Saturday, our days are soccer games in the morning, cheerleading games in the afternoon. And then Sunday is church, and then we repeat it all over again. So, sorry, I thought I had a kiddo waiting. So it's been a typical week for us. Math, the girls were adding Then let's see, math this week, the girls were doing fractions where they were adding fractions with different denominators, so finding common denominators among that. The twins were just reviewing skip counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. Nice and easy week for them. And then Aaron is still doing like slopes in Algebra 1's y-axis and x-axis, and what angle is the slope, and he's very excited about that. We're not very excited about that, but we're going to power through. Algebra 1 is not supposed to be a piece of cake, right? At least not with us. And then for history this week, we're doing Story of the World, volume 2, sorry, Story of the World volume 2. And so we read about, we were reading about the beginning of Islam and Muhammad and the Muslims, and they learned about the 5 pillars of Muslim. We're not Muslim, we're a Christian family, but that was what popped up in their history lesson. So we had a lot of theological questions that come up and things that we could address this week, so that was fun. And then in science, we are doing exploring creation with chemistry and physics for our 4 small ones, or for everyone except for Aaron. And they learned about bonding, electrons and neutrons and atoms and things like that. And then they did some pretty cool experiments, I think, in co-op. And then they're looking forward to, we're going to make like a candy module of an atom with a nucleus and a neutron and electron and proton and neutron. I think I got them all in there. I don't know. Anyway, this is just kind of rambling, talking video. Sorry. So that's what we did this week. Nothing very exciting. It's been a pretty normal week for us. The goal is hopefully every Friday I can kind of do an end of the week recap. Next time I'll be a little more organized and actually have books and things in front and stuff that the kids did that I can show you. So this is our 8th or 9th week in school. We did 3 weeks on, and then we took a break. My oldest son and I went to Guatemala on a mission trip, so we kind of took 2 weeks off and then jumped right back into it. So we're feeling it. As I said before, the honeymoon phase is over, and we're in the nitty gritty where we're kind of looking forward to it. We're going to count down to Christmas break. We're all ready. So that's it. That was our week, and I hope that you all have a fantastic weekend, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.